Last time we were at Green Diesel Engineering on this dyno, our Wrangler put down 472 foot-pounds of torque to the rear wheels. That's more than your Rubicon 392, if you were curious. While we can't quite make that big of an improvement with the Gen 2 EcoDiesel on our Grand Cherokee, we can still make quite a bit more power with a tune from Green Diesel Engineering. So today on Diesel, we're going to tune our Gen 2 EcoDiesel in our 2018 Grand Cherokee with Green Diesel Engineering. Let's check it out.
Like, really?
Yeah, ready? Like, brake torque it more. Okay, go.
Whoa! Oh my god, my stomach just dropped.
So today we are back at Green Diesel Engineering, this time with our 2018 Grand Cherokee EcoDiesel. This has a Gen 2 EcoDiesel on it, so today we are going to outfit it with Green Diesel Engineering's GDE hot tune for the Gen 2 EcoDiesels. So we expect to see about 33 horsepower, 30 horsepower, and about 60 foot-pounds of torque with this tune. It should also give us a bunch of other benefits, which we'll dive into later in the video. If you guys are watching this after you watch us tune our Gen 3 EcoDiesel on our Wrangler, you might be wondering why the numbers are so low for this. We got about 80 foot-pounds and 40 horsepower of the Gen 3. The turbo on the Gen 2 EcoDiesel is actually just a little smaller, so we can't quite push as much air through it as we can the Gen 3, unfortunately. Nevertheless, it should be a good tune. So as you can see, we've got this thing strapped on the dyno. We're gonna put it in dyno mode, warm it up, and then we're gonna do some pre-tuned dyno runs, kind of see what it is stock. We'll write the tune on it. We can walk you guys through that since it's a Gen 2 EcoDiesel and we can do it ourselves. And then we will do some post-tune dyno runs to see if we get the performance we thought we would. Of course, after that, we'll have Lisa take it for a post-tune rip and see what she thinks of it. Take a look at our baseline power numbers. We made 377 just about foot-pounds of torque and 206.6 horsepower. So now we're gonna write the tune on and see what kind of difference we make. For the Gen 2 EcoDiesels, you can actually flash everything you need right here with this handheld flasher that GDE will send to you. For 2018, there's actually security, like a firewall on the Jeep, so you need to put a jumper cable in. We've already done that down here. That's the same thing you'd have if you have a taser on your Jeep. They can send you one of those and give you instructions how to do that as well. So we've got our jumper cable in, we've got our tuner hooked up with the tune on it. We're gonna put our Jeep in the run position. You gotta push your key twice. So once you have your key on and you have your module plugged in, you can go to tuning. Give it a second. It'll say continue with the writing of the file. Select yes. There's gonna be an original file, which is your base tune, and then one that says GDE down here. Select the GDE tune, hit the right arrow, and that is it. That is going to flash your PCM with the GDE tune. So we're gonna let this write. It's gonna take a while. This is actually gonna do your trans and your PCM all in one time, whereas when we did the Gen 3, we just had to use this for the trans only. Make sure you leave your key on for the entirety, and this will let you know when it's done. While we're writing that flash, some of you guys might be asking, why would I do a complete PCM and trans-computer reflash with Green Diesel rather than just get a fooler like the Banks Derringer, or maybe just go with some other more power tunes, right? Well, first of all, Green Diesel's power numbers are right up there with anybody else. We don't need to go into like plus or minus 3% on the dyno, but their power numbers are awesome, and we're showing that to you guys today on the dyno. Second of all, you're gonna get some secondary benefits from a full reflash like we're getting with Green Diesel that you wouldn't get with just a more power tune, right? First thing is we're gonna have reduced regens, which is gonna be better for our emission systems. Green Diesel completely redesigns the combustion cycle, all of the events, all the injection events for Power Stroke. so that we have a cleaner combustion cycle, which results in less regen. That's also going to give us something cool, like better fuel economy. We've already seen that a little bit on the Wrangler, maybe, you know, just a mile to gallon better in the winter like we're having right now. One of the other benefits is the complete PCM reflash that you're going to get with the green diesel tunings. You're going to get reduced turbo lag. Everyone hates the turbo lag on the EcoDiesel, and green diesel can not only throw a little bit more fuel at it in the post-combustion fueling events to get that turbo to spool a little faster, but they can also remap every single thing in the PCM, right? So if there's a lot of stuff in there that's maybe holding that turbo back a little bit, they can change it, whereas, you know, a fuller or a more powered tune is just gonna throw more fuel at it to try and get the turbo to spool faster, whether that's good or bad, right? Another cool thing is, one of the options on the tune is you can get an engine brake. We'll get a clip of that when we're coming off the dyno, but that's pretty cool too. We've already loved that in the Wrangler, so you can engine brake these if you're towing, things like that. You're not gonna get that with the Fooler either. When the tune is done writing, you'll get this message. This means that both your trans and your PCM have been reflashed. So now you can turn the key off and unplug the tuner, and we'll be ready to rip. So we are off the dyno, everything looks good, it looks like it rips now. We came off at 430 foot-pounds of torque, just a touch south of that, and about 240 horsepower. So that is a pretty significant increase. We'll go ahead and we'll overlay some nice graphs on the dyno here so that you guys can see the actual net gain. It's pretty cool, I'm excited to take this for a rip. So if you guys want to tune your Jeep with green diesel, your 2018 or your Gen 2 EcoDiesel, you guys can place the order online, call the guys here, they have an awesome support team, talk to them, and they will actually just send you the flash, everything you need in the box, and then you can flash these at home. It is an $1,100 starting price, and then for our Jeep in specific, there's 3 $50 options you can add on. You can do a $50 trans brake if you want, we got that. You can do a $50 regen message if you want. And the third thing is there's actually a trans race mode for this, which will give you a little, you know, firmer, sportier shifting, but you might not want that in a vehicle like this too, right?
It feels more responsive.
Does it feel like the Wrangler a little bit now?
A little bit, yeah.
And give it some juice, but hold it.
Oh.
Come on, like a little more, a little more,
I gotta hold it.
and then you gotta drop the hammer.
Wait, what? Like really?
Yeah, ready? Like brake torque it more. Okay, go.
Whoa! Oh my god, my stomach just dropped.
You didn't even hold it. You let off because you're scared.
Okay, hold on.
I'd say that's a pretty good tune.
Let me
right
retry
there.
that again.
All right, so I really wanted to do a good 0 to 60 launch, but it's just kind of hard, you know, where we live. Quick note about the trans race mode. If you have it in sport mode and you just really like engine brake it really hard and then launch it, it'll launch it pretty hard, but we'll give you a nice like snowy road launch right now. So I'm just breaking loose obviously, but I mean this thing really does get up and go. I'll try and post a video later sometime when we get a you know, a good place where we can do like an actual hard launch. But as you guys saw in the opener too, this thing will kind of like kick your neck back pretty hard. It's pretty fun. Then the nice thing is if you just turn the sport mode off, all that goes away, right? So you can have your nice smooth shifting Grand Cherokee, but then when you want race mode, she'll get it for you. All right, so the highway acceleration is nice if you want to do a nice merging or, you know, kind of passing. The one thing that I think really stands out with the green diesel tune is it really holds the gears nice. It they can kind of allow it to lug a little more, coupled with the power from the tune. Whereas before it would want to drop more gears, and then you'd be shifting more throughout that. Now you can see the gear number right below the D for drive on the right there, and you can kind of see it really just holds the gears nice. It's a nice firm shift, and it picks a gear and it goes. All in all, again, another really solid tune, complete powertrain tune from Green Diesel. They do an awesome job on this. It doesn't quite feel, as awesome as the Wrangler does, but that's just the fact of the matter that the Wrangler's probably putting down another 80 foot-pounds of horse, another 40 horsepower or so, just because of that Gen 3 EcoDiesel. So obviously, this isn't going to really feel nearly the same as that, but it's solid. You can see the fuel economy we get just keeps going up on this thing. We're maybe halfway through a tank now. I love driving it just around town. You guys can kind of see right here. It's just really solid. The way it shifts, the way it pulls. So a worthwhile upgrade, for the price. If I was going to leave a Jeep diesel like this stock and I was going to keep it for quite a few years, this is definitely something that I think is worth investing in. It completely changes your driving experience. So that is it for the tuning process on our Gen 2 EcoDiesel. If you guys haven't seen the first video where we tune our Wrangler, I'll put a link to that in the description. I'll also link it a couple times in the video, like right up here. If you guys want to check that out, that's probably what a lot of people are interested in. This thing runs awesome. I'm excited to drive it. Now I can drive the Wrangler again, and Lisa will drive this because they're both tuned now. Remember, everything we did today, it's all EPA certified tunes. It's all legal in every state except for California. So if you guys are worried about that, you can do it basically. Sorry if you're in California. Everything we did too was on a chassis dyno, so we're probably going to see anywhere from 10, maybe even 20% loss in the dyno numbers. So actually at the crank, like FCA rates this maybe around 405 foot-pounds of torque, and we're probably making closer to about 465, 460 foot-pounds of torque with this afterward, which, to put that into perspective for you, I know the horsepower number is low, but the torque number is right up there with the SRT 6.4 liter V8 Grand Cherokee. Same thing I referenced, our white Jeep, the Wrangler, actually makes more torque at the crank, considerably more, maybe like 50 more foot-pounds of torque at the crank than the 392 Rubicon will make. So it's a lot. You can really feel it, and the thing with the diesels is if you get a 392 or you get an SRT Grand Cherokee, you're going to get horrible gas mileage, but we're still going to get mid-20s with this in the winter. You can even touch 30 in the summer. They've got a lot of torque. You can tow with them. This is another thing we can do to showcase how awesome these diesels are. Special thanks to Green Diesel Engineering. Again, if you guys are interested in this, I'll put their link in the description. Call them up, chat with them, email them, whatever you want. But they, to be honest with you, I said this in the last video, you walk in here, they know what they're doing. They've got, cylinder pressure sensors, turbo speed sensors. There might be someone out there advertising more power or, better this, better that on the tune. But when it comes to me and we have a $60,000 vehicle that's not out of warranty, I'm not going to put something on it that's an emissions delete. I'm not going to hack something up, and I'm not going to risk, damaging my engine with these guys. I don't feel like that at all. I feel very safe. So thanks for watching, guys. If you guys have any questions, again, leave them in the comments. We'll try and get to them. Other than that, if you're interested in diesel Jeeps, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a moment of diesel. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you guys next time.